With the Child Like Me podcast. I am coming on here to remind you guys to go watch the video that I did with just Dee Dee and just talk about it. It's her YouTube. She did a great interview and we're so very, very proud of her. However, I want to address something that triggered me from doing that interview with her. So I asked a question about jealousy in the home, and her response was yes. So I want to address the jealousy that I experienced. And she also mentioned something about having her hair processed. I want to mention that as well. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because the same things were done to me. So in the home, one of the homes, maybe, no, not just one of the home, all of the homes that I was in, the children of the foster parents were extremely jealous. And I am talking about decades jealous. And I believe that is one reason why they attacked our beauty and our hair. I believe I heard a couple of siblings told me that they were not jealous because they were grown and we were just children, but that's not the case. I know personally, from the time that I was a child up until now, I have experienced jealousy from so-called siblings. I have had siblings try to engage in activity with me because they never viewed me as a sibling. So they, in their mind, they thought it was okay to have activity with me, even though I was growing up in the home and their mother was my mother and was raising me. And so the lines were blurred for them because they felt that we weren't siblings. They never accepted us or me. They never accepted me. And so therefore, even to this day, I've experienced this in conversations to the point one person got so boiled up about this conversation. You're not my sister. You're not my nothing to me, and all this type of stuff. And it's have been like 40 years later. I want to address that because that was that jealousy boiling up. And even in some of the homes, we were tortured because of that. We were tortured. We were like animals. I even witnessed certain people torturing animals. And so they thought it was a game to torture us and lock us up in rooms where we couldn't leave out nothing but for the bathroom or maybe and or school. See, this is my sister, so we had the same experience. And I want to address that. Jealousy, it doesn't, just because you're an adult and I was a child, that doesn't mean that you wasn't jealous, because indeed you were. Indeed you were. And it's fine that you don't accept me as who I am or who I was. I am perfectly okay with that. But what I'm not okay with was the torture that was endured. Okay? I was threatened that I bet not write a book. I was called names. My birth mother was attacked and talked about because I said I was going to write a book. One person trying to shut you up, maybe it's because they're guilty of something, because this was the same person that tried to relations with me because he could not see that I was his sister. Whether or not we came from the same womb or not, I was his sister. And then the jealousy that I experienced from the other siblings, they didn't like the fact that their mom chose to have other kids. One of my siblings was jealous because I had a good close relationship with her mom, and she did not like that. And she treated me horribly because of that. And so this is why vetting is very important when you have families that want to take in foster children, especially when you have own children. Even with my own children, they don't want me to take in children. They don't want me to take in children. They're grown, and they don't want me to take in children because they feel like you already have your own. But this void in me where I wanted to help someone is going to happen because that's what I always wanted to do. When I was a little girl, I said I want to help somebody. I want to help these children. I want to, and a lot of times I was married, so unless my spouse agreed to it, I couldn't do it. I'm single now, so I'm not married now, and so I can do it if I choose to. But I did. I had a void because I wanted to help somebody, like somebody helped me. Even though the homes were not perfect, it was somewhere for us to go. I learned a lot. And I'm not saying that everything was bad in none of the homes that I was in, but the foster care system is indeed broken. Some laws need to go in place to better vet the parents. Better checks need to be done, updates and stuff on the children and what they may be going through. The children need to be believed because the system is overworked and they don't really have nowhere else to place the child. They allow the child to stay in abusive situations. And I want to address that. You have to know who you are. My someone offered to process my hair and put a jerry curl in my hair. Because you got to remember, we're old. So this was a while ago. But they wanted to process my hair, and I didn't want them. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't want you to put that in my hair. And I was young. But I made a decision and I said I didn't want that. But that's a little mini attack when someone trying to attack your beauty. They're trying to make you feel ugly. They jealous of your beauty. They're jealous of the attention that you get from the foster parent. Now, I didn't ask to come to your house. I didn't ask for your mom to want me. Your mom needed more love and she needed to make a difference. And so that's why she picked me. And she made a difference in my life, right? She made a difference in my life, and you were jealous of that. Let's just call it a buck. Let's call it what it is. You you don't get to decide after you've been grown whether or not your mother is going to intake foster children. And you don't also get to torture the children that she bring in. It was a reason. It was a reason why we needed care. And so you're going to bring us in a home and abuse us? You got to be kidding me. And the interview I did with my sister yesterday, it triggered me because I felt the same way in one particular home. Like I was a prisoner. I was a prisoner in the home. I always wanted to escape the home. I literally wanted to escape every day. And I did not just want to escape. I did escape. This was a home that the reason why I didn't get adopted. And I didn't want to hurt my mother. I loved her. I really did love her, but I did not like what was happening in this home. And so the foster care system needs to be vetted. The people need to be vetted. The system need to be reworked. And I was really triggered yesterday as I was doing that interview. However, I had to hold it together so I can address some things. See, I'm not scared. Okay, I'm going to talk. And I'm not saying that my sister was scared. That's not what I'm saying, right? But you cannot threaten me not to tell my story. I had someone tell me if I told my story, they were going to sue me. They called me names. They said all kinds of stuff bad about me. They talked about my biological mother and said all kind of mean and evil and wicked things. And again, that is the person who was a brother that wanted to have S relations with me because they crossed the line. They crossed the line and they couldn't see. I didn't have to be your biological sister, but for all intended purposes, I was your sister. And so you should not have been thinking that. But predators exist everywhere. And the jealousy with the sister, I'm talking to the mom and I'm laying in the bed with the mom and the sister just peeping around the corner. She's jealous and she's mad and envious and she hated me for that. And then you want to try to attack my hair and my clothing and all the things, right? All the things. You want to attack all the things concerning me to make me feel worse than I already do by even being there. See, the thing with me is I knew my family and I always tried to stay connected to them regardless, right? Now I love my mothers. I love my siblings. I love them to pieces. I literally do. And I don't use the term foster, but for this intended purposes of this life, I need to label this, right? I need to label this. Every time I went somewhere, they were calling me my foster child. They treated me differently. They took the money that was given for the foster kids and took it and funded the wishes and dreams of their own family, and then gave us boxes from Salvation Army and the little Goodfellow boxes that we used to get that would have a Barbie doll, some candy, some socks, and stuff in that. Thank you guys for joining. They made a difference in us. And so how can you feel like you belong when there is a difference? So if you're thinking about getting children, make sure that you can be show no bias with the children inside of the home, because that is something that affects for a long time. It wasn't just this one home, it was all the homes that I was in. Now, remember, I aged out of the foster care system. I went in the foster care system at 4 and I aged out at 19. It was actually 18, but they had a program that carried on. So at 19 I made a decision at 18 that I didn't want to be in a foster care system. And so when I went for a review at 19, I made a decision because I had gotten pregnant. And in my mind at that moment, the reason why I made that decision is because I was pregnant and I did not want my child to have any dealings with the foster care system, even though it was a help that I sacrificed because they were, thank you so much. Happy 4th to you as well. It was they were going to pay my rent for another couple of years, and I made that sacrifice because I did not want my child to grow up in the foster care system, and that was a decision that I made at that time. And the judge was like, "Oh, I admire you," because one of the things my mother taught me was to work. Okay, and I still have that work ethic now. The thing that I am doing now, I was taught, okay? A lecturer, a speaker, I was taught this inside of the home, okay? I was taught this, and I used to be like ready to pull my hair out listening to my mother talk. Okay, I was so irritated. I used to be like, would you please shut up, in my mind, of course, because I knew not to say it out loud. But I literally was like, please shut up. And it wasn't until recently that I discovered that she taught me to be a speaker and a lecturer. She taught me to be a speaker and a lecturer, and it's the very thing that I'm doing now. So when one of my brothers decided that, he said he's going to sue me if I write a book, and how dare him talk about his mother. No, baby, that was my mother, and you was nowhere around, and I'm going to say what I want to say. Why would you think that I'm going to say anything other than the truth? And is it because things didn't go the way that they were supposed to go, or things that you did or someone else did that was not supposed to take place or transpire in the house, like trying to sleep with your sister, right? Yeah, I'm going to say it. You tried to sleep with me. Sicko, predator, you tried to sleep with me. Let's keep it a buck, okay? And so I love you though. I love you. I still love you. I don't care what your problem is. I still love you, but I will address it and I will tell the truth. I'm not shutting up. You're not gonna get me to shut up like you did some of the other sisters. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna speak a little bit louder, okay? Because of that. You do not get to decide if somebody tells their story because you have a part in their story. My story is my story. My mother was a part of my stories. And matter of fact, I have 4 mothers, okay? Not just one mother. I was a part of 4 families, and I'm very much a part of the family. I am auntie to so many, okay? I am sister to so many, okay? I am cousin to so many. And we have a relationship. We have a relationship. One of my cousins is like, she's my favorite cousin. Like, I don't care blood. Listen, okay? It's not always the blood that make you family. It's just not, okay? And I still want you guys to go over there to the A Child Like Me podcast Facebook page. I did an interview with one of my sisters yesterday, just Dee Dee, okay? And you can find her YouTube, just talk about it. You can find it. I'm going to help her with some things. But if you cannot find the interview there, because I believe it's there, but if you can't find it there, because I'm having some problems loading it to YouTube, but if you cannot find it, you are free to go find me, Wendy Coleman. Y'all know my name is Wendy Coleman, and I am also God's daughter 1. I give out free t-shirts to all subscribers. I'm going to do another batch coming soon. So if you're a subscriber, you will get a free t-shirt. Listen, I did a whole batch of t-shirts. Those shirts went so fast. I am God's daughter 1 on Facebook. And I mean on TikTok. I'm God's daughter 1 on TikTok. You can find me there. It is A Child Like Me podcast on Facebook. It's A Child Like Me podcast on Instagram, and here on YouTube, A Child Like Me podcast. Does anybody have any questions? I really want you guys to check out that interview. This was one of my foster sisters, which I don't like to use, but this was one of my sisters, and she did a great interview yesterday, and you can find her at Just Dee Dee, and just talk about it on YouTube. That is her YouTube channel. So for the siblings that are jealous of the relationship, oh, thank you. Hearts. For the siblings that were jealous of your relationship, be very grateful that you were in a situation where love was given to you, and that you didn't have to experience some of the things that was experienced in our lifetime. This is our pain turned into a testimony, and I believe that we're supposed to talk about it. I'm not ever shutting up either because I was quiet for too long. I was quiet for decades. I will not shut up now or ever. Okay? You can get your lawyer ready. You can get whatever ready. Okay? Come for me if you want. Okay? Come for me what you want. You can't tell me not to tell my story. Okay? Everything I endured made me who I am today. Every mother I had made me who I am today. My mothers, they impacted me from the one that gave me birth to the ones that raised me. I do not call them foster mother. I never did. I call them mom, every last one of them. Sometimes when I'm talking, people get confused because like, didn't you say your mama was this? And didn't you say your mother there? Until I explain, okay, wait a minute. Yes, that's true. But I have 4 mothers growing on. And the reason why I explain that, even when I pass away, my children know to include everybody. Whoever you are to me, that's who you are, and that's what the instructions are. If something happens to me, that my children know I didn't pick this life, the life picked me. Okay, and so I have four mothers. Who knew? Okay, and I believe that each one of them embedded a lot in me. They made me into the woman I am today. They taught me different things, and I love them all. I really do. And it's sad to say that two of them went on to be with the Lord. And so, therefore, I have two mothers left. Okay. I have two mothers left. I have my biological mother, and I have one other mother left. Okay. That took a part in my raising of my children, impacted a lot of things in my life and things like that. And so, I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. Okay. So I just have to put boundaries up now so I can be okay with my peace. And I'm very busy. Okay. I'm a very busy person. I am doing a lot that you guys don't know or can see. And so therefore I'm busy. And I just think the interview yesterday was great. It did trigger me though. I was triggered. So I was like, okay, it's time to go back today and address some things. Okay. Get out of yourself. Get out of yourself. Okay. How would you feel if you were in my shoes? And then since you haven't been in my shoes, it's not right to get children in the home and torture them. It's not right. That was one of the reasons why I didn't want to get adopted, is because I was tortured. I was like, the devil is a lie. I'm not getting adopted into prison. Are you kidding me? I never knew structure anyway. So you trying to give me structure, and then on top of that, trying to lock me up, and the devil is a lie. And I resisted it. I told her I loved her, but I just could not do it. Yes, I have experienced love in some of the homes, like real love, and I'm not talking about all of them, Sean. All of them not bad, but we're talking about the jealousy that came from the siblings. And I did an interview. Go check it out. Go check it out. Okay, I did an interview with one of my sisters yesterday, and a few things that she was talking about triggered me. I experienced the same thing. I'm not talking about her story. I'm talking about what I experienced. It's just so happened because we were in the same home. She experienced the same thing I experienced. And I'm not talking about just that home either. Let's be very clear. Okay, I'm not just talking about the one home. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about all the homes. And so my statements is they apply to whatever home I'm talking about, okay? And so I want y'all guys to go over there and watch that video. Just Dee Dee is her name. Talk about it on YouTube. And that was my sister. My name is Wendy Coleman on Facebook, and then A Child Like Me podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And then I also have on TikTok, I'm God's Daughter 1. So the shirts that you see, you just gonna have to check out my page. If you're a follower, you just gonna have to keep up. That's all I'm gonna tell you, because I can't. Okay, I just cannot. So, but the shirts are black and white. If you see it, it says "Be About the Father's Business." It's a video right here on YouTube that you can check out. Those shirts are given out free to the subscribers. And I really just feel like before you can collect any type of money, you ought to give back first. That's how I feel. And so I will do another batch coming shortly, and I will announce it. And I will just pull up on me, okay? I'm going to be posted on different spots here and there, and then you can just pull up on me and get you a free t-shirt, because the other ones went so fast. I'm talking about in a matter of days, they were gone, okay? So we're going to get everybody that interviews with me get a gift. And so I am thinking about what I want to give Just Dee Dee, right? So I was thinking about self-care packet, maybe like a spa day or something like that. But if you have any suggestions, put them down right here in the comments. And please go watch the interview. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please share the interview so you can find me at Wendy Coleman or A Child Like Me podcast, God's Daughter 1 on TikTok, and Instagram, A Child Like Me podcast. Now, I want to remind you guys that your story is your power. Even Sean, right? Is that Sean? You said that you had a great experience. That is a story as well. We are not just highlighting negative experience. If you have a great story and you were raised in a great family, you can tell that story as well, right? Because we not saying that the whole care system failed everybody. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that some changes need to be set in place and some better vetting for the parents and stuff like that. That's what we're saying. Because we can make comments like that from the experiences that we experience, right? And so basically, you talk about what you can talk about, and I talk about what I can talk about, right? And so the purpose of this podcast is to get others to tell this story, to start them on a healing journey. Do you know how many millions of people are hurting because they cannot verbalize what happened to them? They are scared to verbalize what happened to them. They are carrying it around. They will they will allow their story to go in the grave with them, okay? And then not only that, people that have not survived the things and residues of what they experience in life, they no longer here and they can't tell their story. And so it's very important for the story to be told. It's a conversation always. It is a conversation always. Thank you so much. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for supporting me. Remember, this is a God's vision, not my vision. God gave me this vision in 2003. I was prepped for it. And also check out some of my songs. Now, I don't sing. Okay, I want you to make sure y'all understand that I do not sing. I write. I don't sing. So I use this app called Sono, and I put my words onto the app, and I picked an instrument, music to go with it, so I can write the songs. I do not sing. My very first song I did with my nephew, and he sung the song for me. Okay, and it's called. He changed it to Wendy's Prayer. Tim, that was not it. But anyway, it's called Wendy's Prayer, and he sung the song for me. And then I found the app, and I placed a few. You'll see a 30-minute clip of the songs on there as well. I write. Even though I don't like to write. I don't know why. God wanted me to write. I write. And so, yes, I write. And yeah, it's a book coming out. It's a book coming out. I just did the cover. I have some more things to go through or whatever the case may be before I can publish it. Hopefully it'll be ready because it's a pop-up shop coming as well. I need some help. Anybody want to help me? Anybody want to help me, because this is a lot. Okay, I don't even know the time frame right now because there's so much going on that goes into it, and I want to give you my very best. Okay, and so God's the best, and so you know just pray for me and we'll see how it goes. I'll make an announcement in enough time for everybody to come and participate and things like that. Just remember, your story is power, and your story may help someone else. Your story may help someone else. And this is the purpose of us telling these stories. Thank you so much. God bless you. And enjoy the 4th. Peace. I'm God's daughter. What? This is Wendy Coleman with a Child Like Me podcast. God bless you. Enjoy the holiday. Thank you.